Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. And in this video, I want to actually get into a concept that I think affects a lot of people. This is a concept that's really, actually, I'm sorry, this is really focusing on a concept that affects men, and it's something that I think no one really analyzes. Now, you do have situations where this can affect a woman as well, but it seems to be, after speaking with like a lot of guys who have been getting this a lot lately, I just wanted to bring it up in that regards because the dynamic, the social dynamic, is starting to change, at least in the U.S., in which it's about, very much the man staying traditional and sometimes the woman or not. And so there's a lot of men being affected by this. So I want to address this. This is not to say that it's about being pro man and anti woman, but I'm just addressing a topic. Um, Whereas there are going to be topics that, may be to the benefit or the wisdom of enlightening or encouraging a woman. So this is not what this is about. But it's basically what the topic we're going to get into today is um, men being put down and the damage that it does versus them getting positive encouragement over the years by the person that they're with. Um, and I actually just did a video in regards to emotional intelligence and how I don't like that word. And this kind of plays a little bit into that same concept because sometimes some people view it as that they want someone to be their dumping ground and they think that that person is built for that they're built strong, so they're built to take that dumping ground. And the thing about it is this: as we jump into this topic, we jump straight into it. Are men supposed to be strong? Yes, they are. Are they supposed to be able to shrug a lot of things off their shoulders? Yes, they are. The problem that a lot of people don't understand, a lot of problems that women don't understand when it comes to men is men are designed to do that against the outside world. When a man gets into a relationship, he opens himself up to being vulnerable to that person he's with. And this is the key factor that sometimes a lot of women don't understand. When he opens himself up to you, he makes himself vulnerable to you. You now cannot be the one who is treating him the same way that the outside world treats him. Though sometimes you might view it as a dumping ground, you're not trying to intentionally say, I want to destroy him, but I want somebody I can curse at. I want someone who I can, I had a bad day at work or outside in the street. So I come home, I want to blame it on someone. I want to shit on someone. I want to be like, I can't stand this. And then now you want to dump on them. You don't do this around the house. You don't do that. Or why is he doing this? Blah, blah, blah. And sometimes it's intentional. Sometimes it's not on the woman's part. Sometimes it's just, I want someone to vent and I don't feel comfortable venting to anyone else other than this person I'm with. And afterwards they go, oh, I'm so sorry. And maybe they cook you a dinner and, they might think that's okay. That kind of toxic back and forth because it's kind of like, okay, I need someone to dump on. Then after that, I'm ready to be in a positive mood. And the thing about that is it takes a toll, and I don't think a lot of them know the damage that it does. Now, some of them do. So for the ones who straight know what it does and they're doing it on purpose, they don't care about that man. And keep in mind, in either scenario, whether that what you're doing, whether you don't, in no way does it justify it. And it's completely wrong and it's something that should never be done because it's abuse. At the end of the day, it's abuse. But for the ones who don't realize how bad it is because they think that person can be that crutch for them, that dumping ground, that comfort zone to say, I can let loose all the tension I have in the world on my man. And then, you know, I apologize to him. I cook him a dinner, whatever the case is, I give him a back rub and it's all good. What happens is this: most women want a man who's going to be strong, who's going to be confident, who's going to be all these kind of things to be able to take on the world. The problem is when a man makes himself vulnerable to you because he's with you and he opens up to you, he allows you into his space and he lets himself vulnerable, however that might be depicted or how that might be portrayed, but he's vulnerable to you. What ends up happening is that when you dump on him, you're it's almost like a toxic plague that is destroying the actual land that you built. The green land that you built is now getting decay, and all the green is starting to turn black and decay and fall to pieces. That man, all the things that you like about him when you met him, his confidence, his strength, his energy, all those kind of positive things. When a guy gets with a woman, all those things multiply like tenfold for the positive energy that he feels when he's with them in the beginning, when everything's nice and roses and everything like that. Once you start settling in and you start treating that guy that way, you're dumping on him this and that, it starts to destroy him. It starts to destroy him from the inside out. It starts to destroy him from the core. So though to the rest of the world he has an armor that's impenetrable, that he's confident, he's strong, nothing can get the best of him, you start destroying him from the inside out because he's let you inside. And then what happens is that he starts to rot away from the inside outwards. And then eventually that impenetrable armor on the outside starts to fall to pieces. He's no longer confident anymore. He doubts himself. He lets other people now talk to him a certain way that he would have never let people talk to him. He's always now willing to accept certain things that he might go, I'll give a pass on that. Or maybe moments where he needed to step up and get loud and say what he had to say to somebody in the world. He doesn't do it now because he's like, well, you know what? I'm not getting loud with the person I'm with at home. So if I'm not getting loud with them, they're on me every day. I can let this slide. It destroys them. And then what happens is when you see that as the woman, you now look at him like he's weak. He's not the guy that I thought he was. Not realizing that you're creating your own destruction in that man. And then later on, you now go, whether it's a couple of years down the line, whether it's a couple of months, and you go, I don't want that guy anymore now because he's a shell of what he used to be. And I don't know why he's become that, but he's just not on that level anymore. He's not that guy anymore. And then that becomes a problem. But because you created that. This is also the same reason why, even though we're focusing on that topic at the moment of just what happens in that process, but jumping to the future, sometimes you'll have men who, when they separate from someone, they bounce back, and the woman will see that that guy's bouncing back, and they'll go, "Man, look at him. He's looking good. He's exercised. He's taking care of himself. He's happy. He looks so strong again." And now they may want him again, but they don't realize what broke him down in the first place was them. And so, and it's funny because I've even watched some shows that do the same thing. They're with somebody, they're in a relationship, they break up, then years back they're like, oh man, remember that guy? And the show will depict it in this positive way where it's like, I want to get back with that guy, not realizing that the reality of something like that in the real world would have been that woman broke that man down, which is why they broke up. Um, but I digress because, like I said, the point of it is just focusing on that part of you can't do that. You can't use someone as your punching bag and break them down. It's very dangerous. And it causes a lot of problems, a lot of destruction, and it actually destroys the paradise that you have created. And it in turn creates a man that you didn't even want in the first place. You turn him into the type of man you didn't want in the first place. Anybody who have any kind of thoughts, any kind of anybody who's experienced anything like that, anybody who just wants to rant a little bit on it, push your comments down below. And yeah, take care, be safe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.